So joining us tonight on the In Out Crowd, we are super excited to be chatting with the lovely Thomas and Kath from the LGBTQ plus magazine Somewhere4Us. So hello to you both.
Hi.
Hi there. Hiya.
We've already done our hellos and everything pre-recording, so we'll spare the audience that again. So kind of first of all then, folks, just for anyone watching or listening who may not know who you are, would you like to give us just a brief kind of description of who are Kathryn and Thomas?
So yeah, I'm Kath or Kathryn, either, known as both. I'm based in Edinburgh. My pronouns are she, her. I'm far too old to tell you my actual age. I'm the founder director of Somewhere, and I'm the co-founder and co-editor of Somewhere4Us magazine alongside Thomas. And I'm often mistaken for Sue Perkins, but unfortunately, well, I'm not her. I would be significantly better off if I were her. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, hi, I'm Thomas, he, him are my pronouns. I've lived in Edinburgh for about 5 years, and along with Kath, co-founded the lovely magazine Somewhere4Us. So co-founder and co-editor. And yeah, so that's me in a nutshell regarding Somewhere4Us.
Lovely, super busy bees then.
Sweet, yeah, thank you very much. Can you also explain to us a little bit more about Somewhere4Us, the magazine and otherwise?
Okay, yeah, sure. So starting with the magazine, so it's been going since November 2020. So that's when we were able to release the first issue.
Yeah, the very first issue was slightly delayed.
It was.
A little thing called COVID got in the way.
Yeah, it really nearly did. Yeah, so that was, we managed to launch eventually in November last year, and we're a new quarterly magazine based around LGBTQ arts, culture, heritage and enterprise. Do you want to say a bit?
Yeah, so like Kath said, quarterly magazine, very much a community magazine. It's for the community, by the community. So every issue is a real labour of love and a real collaborative piece of work. So we work with Scotland and beyond, LGBTQ plus creators, writers, and our allies to make each issue as interesting as possible.
And we deliberately wanted to make it quite a sort of mashup publication, and by that I mean to have that breadth of content, so that maybe somebody who might pick up an arts magazine now then finds out about businesses that they might not necessarily have known about. So we kind of wanted to have that nice little sort of serendipity in the magazine.
Yeah.
And just a really sort of creative space, and one that's in constant conversation with the community. So we sort of adapt it with each issue, don't we?
Yes, each issue has a loose theme, which we kind of work to, and that really helps us with the content, but then it also helps with the cover, because the cover, they say never judge a book by its cover, but unfortunately we all do. So the covers are a huge part of the issue, and working collaboratively with a great artist at different stages of their career, whether it's somebody like our last artist, Amy, that was their first real bit of commercial work, the first cover, which was amazing. And they've had a great reaction to it and got lots more work from that, which is amazing to hear as well. To Laura, who is an illustrator for the Beano.
Yay! So she's Minnie the Minx's
artist, and who's a real trailblazer. The first female to illustrate a kind of a regular comic strip in the Beano, which is fantastic. And so she's no she's used to having her work published every week, every Wednesday in the Beano. So so different people, different stages, and as varied as possible. And we take a different approach as well with the magazine, because it is an LGBTQ plus magazine, which is quite unique for this type of magazine, because the magazines are generally aimed at certain demographics within the spectrum. Whereas we try and kind of have something that does appeal to everybody, really, which is difficult, but we do our best.
Yeah, love the inclusivity. Nice.
So that's the magazine, but I know you asked also about sort of Somewhere generally. Just to tell you a little bit about that is, so alongside the magazine, we've also got a new business enterprise network, which we launched at the same time as the magazine back in November. And that's the first one of its kind in the UK, connecting up LGBTQ businesses, enterprises and ally organisations. So that's really exciting, and that's coming along, and we're getting lots of members signed up to that. So really super excited about that. And then the last kind of strand of activity is that we love working with universities. So we do lots of work with Edinburgh University. So we've got a scholarship programme with them and mentoring programme. And we've also just started a new PhD into LGBTQ entrepreneurship across Scotland. And we have like regular placements and internships, and we have a publishing placement with Napier. So we're mega busy.
And kind of a bit apt for kind of the timing of the year. And so the Fringe, Edinburgh Fringe, is kind of where it all started, really.
It is.
For us. So the Fringe is back for 2021 in a increased form from last year. So there is going to be some physical events, which is fantastic. So we have our kind of launch outface and kind of project was Somewhere at the Fringe, which we did in 2018 and 2019.
Yeah.
So that was a writing kind of reviews and working with the community to publish reviews and stuff. So that's that was really great to kind of get us out there and kind of find our kind of feet in Edinburgh. So that's a big part of our next issue.
It is.
So watch
this space. Watch this space.
A little sneak peek, thank you.
Totally, yeah. And I mean, if we are going to judge a book by its cover, you've certainly got the pages to back it up, I think, by the sounds of things. I was totally having a fanboy moment when you'd mentioned it was the illustrator from Minnie the Minx, because Minnie the Minx was like one of my favourite characters when I was younger. So yeah, I was like, having a wee hot flush when you said that. And I suppose that could be described as a bit of a significant moment kind of for me growing up. So I would like to ask you both, like my wee segue there, if you can tell us a bit about a significant moment in each of your lives, which could be professional in terms of the magazine and your organisation, or personal, relationship, friend, just anything at all that you think you'd like to share with us.
Gosh, that's a big one. That is a big one. And I thought long and hard about it. And then I thought, to be quite honest, I think, because the Somewhere project's been going since 2015. That's when it kind of first started. And I think it was really just seeing the very first proof of the very first magazine, because the project kind of took lots of twists and turns. It started off in Manchester. It was originally going to be a cultural centre. It was going to be an actual physical space. And then when I moved up to Edinburgh and got together with Thomas, and then it was, between us, we kind of thought our space is going to end up being a printed space instead of an actual space. Yeah. So I think it was just a massive, massive moment that when we both, I don't want to speak for you because I think you'll do yours, but when we actually got it from the printers, and it was like, I remember how massive it felt. So
it was quite a moment, because I mean, like I said earlier, we did launch during the pandemic. So to actually have something we can hold that we created with probably 20 other people, and during this time when kind of none of us really saw each other face to face.
Yeah, it was done. A lot of it was done remotely, wasn't it? A huge amount.
Yeah, we've actually we're on the 4th issue, and we haven't actually met as a team since the 1st issue in a physical capacity.
Yeah,
we've never met any really of the writers or any of the cover designers in real life. So
it's mad, isn't it? It's because you couldn't have a launch event. This was a thing. Everything sort of changed. Yeah. Because we're planning on having a launch event for each issue. That's what we want to do. To basically have a party, don't we, each time? Yeah. So when we eventually are properly allowed to meet, and not in this weird sort of just do it straight away thing, when everyone's a bit more comfortable about meeting up, I think we'll have a big party, won't we?
We will. Yes.
Or just 5 in a row, one for each issue, night after night.
Brilliant idea.
We'll do a residency somewhere.
Just a week long and like a spring or something.
Flexible. Let's do it.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Thank you so much for chatting to us about all of that. If folks would like to hear a little bit more from Kathryn and Thomas, please do tune into our podcast, which we'll be releasing shortly.